Hi everyone, I'm Nikki Hart, owner and creative director at Multi Designs, and welcome to Designing Booklets. This course is going to show you everything that you need to get started designing booklets, and it's geared towards the beginner. However, it's also going to help advanced users, especially if you've taken my book layout design course already here on Toots Plus. Now don't worry, if you haven't taken that course, this is actually a great precursor to thinking about booklets and multi-paged format documents. So either way, this is going to benefit you. And when I was thinking about the exact project we can use, I decided to go with what I create all the time for authors, and I'm talking about little tiny chapter booklets. Now, these are a lot of fun because of their size, and they're great for authors. And basically they're used as a way to promote one or two chapters of an upcoming book. There's other information in here as well, including an ad on the back, which is fantastic, and then of course the outer cover. Now, booklets typically come in a format similar to this. They can be larger, they can be wider, it doesn't really matter as far as the size goes. But the one thing that keeps them in common is the spine here. So there is always some type of binding involved with a booklet that's going to hold these pages together, and then you flip through it. So basically there's smaller versions of books. And so that's why, whether or not you've taken the book layout design or you're familiar with book layout design, this is going to help anybody, because we're going to look at this in a promotional way, but it's also going to give you the core features of multiple ways to create booklets and think about your content across multiple pages in InDesign. And so we are actually going to create a booklet based on a real book. And the reason being is that it's going to help you be able to use a real life book as an example and figure out how you can use content that's readily available to you or already available to create your booklets. And it gets you thinking in a little different way than what you may be used to, where we're creating things from scratch. And so we are actually going to create a booklet based on Jessica Brody's Unremembered. It's her sequel to this book, Unforgotten. And so this is an example of the chapter and then the actual book. And then the sequel booklet that we are actually going to create in this course looks like this. And so this is actually a little bit thicker than the other two that you saw, so there's more pages involved here. It's still the same premise where we have an outer and back cover, and then we also have our internal chapter pages, and then we also have an ad on the inside that we're going to design. So we're going to look at multiple content for our booklet. We're going to look at importing text from Word into our InDesign document, which is also very helpful if you have manuscripts for bigger books or bigger booklets, magazines as well. And so we're going to look at some of those features. But the biggest thing with this course is that you're going to look at how to take a project and create a cohesive design all the way across, applying the styles, applying your imagery, and all using InDesign to do that. Now you can use any version of InDesign that you have available. I will be using the latest, but I will be keeping some of the advanced features of InDesign to a minimum so that anybody can pick up this course and use it for their booklets. Now before we dive into InDesign and get going on our designs, we are going to look at two things first, and the next lesson is going to talk about how do you pick a size for your booklet. There's so many different options, so where do you start? That's coming up in the next lesson.